China has a fascinating history, and its rise as a global power today has far reaching consequences. For most of its history, China had a feudal warlord based culture. It was eventually consolidated by the Qing dynasty, known for unifying and expanding the Great Wall of China, and later by the Han dynasty, during which the Silk Road flourished. This was followed by the Jin and Tang dynasties, with the Tang dynasty often called the Golden Age of China. This period also saw the spread of Buddhism into Chinese culture. China reached its maximum territorial extent under Kublai Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan. This dynasty was the first non Han dynasty, succeeded by the Ming dynasty, which focused on cultural rejuvenation. They were later succeeded by the Qing dynasty. This period saw the increasing influence of foreign powers and imperial westerners, leading to what is known as the Century of Humiliation. This era included significant events like the Opium Wars against Britain, the Taiping Rebellion, the Sino Japanese Wars, the Sino French War, and the Boxer Rebellion. These events contributed to the weakening and eventual fall of the Qing dynasty. After a brief civil war, the CCP under Mao came to power. Mao's leadership saw significant events such as the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. He established a centralized authoritarian government and tried to transform the rural economy into an industrialized one. Due to poor implementation and planning, these reforms led to poverty and widespread famines, resulting in millions of deaths. It is estimated that around 30 million people died under Mao's rule. After Mao's death, China came under the rule of Deng Xiaoping. Under Deng, China underwent major economic, political, and cultural changes. Deng Xiaoping's policy was based on pragmatism. He is known for his famous quote, "It doesn't matter whether the cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." Under Deng Xiaoping, China's socio-economic landscape underwent severe transformation. Some scholars call this socialism with Chinese characteristics, while economists refer it to as a mere market economy, a hybrid of socialism and capitalism. Deng Xiaoping focused on developing special economic zones, which led to large-scale industrialization, increased capacities and capabilities, and integration into the global supply chain. Other important policies included the one-child policy, which had far-reaching consequences on the Chinese economy and society. Since people were allowed to have only one child, they started spending more on their children's education, leading to higher human capital productivity. China also made education compulsory and focused on STEM and vocational courses. These initiatives led to an overall increase in citizens' productivity. The effectiveness of these reforms can be understood by comparing India and China. Their GDPs were similar in 2000s, but when China's human capital investment from the 1980s started showing benefits, we saw significant differences in literacy rates and GDP contributions. China is currently the second largest economy in the world. With its growing economic power, China has become aggressive at times, particularly in the South China Sea, where it has historical claims against internationally established boundaries. Its increasing presence and influence in Europe, Africa, and Latin America through projects like the Belt and Road Initiative, mining, and other activities have led some countries like those in Europe and the United States to take an anti-China stance, reducing their supply chain dependency on China. China is facing challenges like an economic slowdown due to disruptions, a troubled property sector, reduced global demand, and production capacity exceeding both domestic and global needs. Adding to the economic strains are uncertainty among investors, record levels of youth unemployment, an aging population, and low fertility rates. Despite these drawbacks, China is projected to become the world's largest economy by 2050, succeeding the United States, highlighting its importance in the global economy and geopolitics. China has a unique polity and economy. What it has accomplished in recent decades is remarkable, lifting millions of people out of poverty and empowering them like no other country in the history of mankind. Whether admired or criticized, China is a force to be reckoned with. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to my channel, and you might also like this video on major political ideologies that shape our day-to-day lives.